So our next speaker really doesn't need an intro. If you're looking for an example of how you can get involved and make a difference, this man personifies libertarians connecting to people within their community, getting shit done, and winning. I would like to introduce you to Moses Lake City Council member, Don Myers.
Thank you, everybody. I want to thank a couple people that helped me get elected. I'd like to start small and go with our regional director, Gavin Keefe, for calling me out and encouraging me, pushing me along. He was my running mate. He was running for Yakima City Council, and he was giving me every pointer to get me elected. That was his goal, get me elected. He didn't care about himself. He was very, very personal in encouraging me. Second of all, Michael Pickens, he called me all the time to give me ideas and give me, different direction on how I can win. That guy was super friendly and just gave me the energy to keep going. And then Stephen Nielsen, our chair. That guy, he continued on and gave me purpose to promote the Libertarian Party in our mission in promoting liberty. I'd like to talk about how I won within the Moses Lake City Council and why I chose liberty. What I like is choice. People like choice. People like to choose what to do in their life and what they can and cannot do. They don't like the government to tell them what they cannot do. Free market has been a role model in my life. My parents own a automotive shop in Moses Lake. I grew up in Moses Lake. Their example has been do whatever it takes to raise your family. I didn't go to daycare. I grew up within a shop. They taught me how to run a business. They taught me every choice you make can determine your lifestyle. And right now, they have 3 rental houses. They started from $100. They asked somebody, please help me. I'd like to start a business. This is my idea. I want to run a repair shop. I'd like to fix cars. It's something that I can do. And the guy said, sure, I support the young lifestyle. I support the free market. And you pay me $100 when you can. You start your business. And I support that. And right now, they had their best month ever last month. And that was pretty empowering for me to help them along through their business. One thing I've done in the last 8-9 years is studied people skills. And I think that's something that as libertarians we can do is learn people skills. And one thing I've noticed with a lot of people on Facebook and throughout the world is we like to argue. And I've read a book called How to Win Friends and Influence People, and I've studied lots of different people skills and leadership books. And a man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. And I may repeat myself, and I may say a lot of different things that a lot of you have come up here and spoke about. But we like to argue. And as libertarians, we think we're right. And maybe we are, but if we talk about that and we put somebody else down and we tell them how wrong they are, they're not going to come to our side. I'd like to challenge you to listen to people as they talk. Listen to them as they tell you what matters to them. As libertarians, we agree with most people, whether it be socially accepting somebody or being fiscally responsible. We agree that people can do what they want. If you want to spend your money on going to a bakery that bakes a cake for a gay couple, you can do that. If you don't support government going to war regarding what the circumstances are, then you can do that. If you want to do whatever you want, that's the libertarian way, that you just choose what you'd like to do. My main message is build bridges with people. Don't push them away. Don't alienate them. Listen to them. Find out what you agree on and talk to them on that issue. A lot of the things that I talk to people within Moses Lake are taxation. Most people don't agree with taxation, and that's how I won the election. Is I say, let's keep government out of things. Let's get government out of the way and let business do what they please. You talk to them on that issue and you get support. Find common ground and make friends. I encourage all libertarians to read books on people skills and leadership. It can make a world of difference in things. Find common ground. Listen and don't criticize. A lot of people don't agree with maybe what you say. If you don't support welfare, if you don't support Social Security, talk to them on that issue and agree with them on certain things like volunteerism. Maybe point out a charity that does the similar function of some government program. Highlight things. Most people don't even know that the private world can do the same function as government. And then again, be bold. Offer simple solutions. Don't overcomplicate things. Talk to them on issues that are simple. One of my mottos to live by is KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. Encourage people to do the same. Don't complicate things and just say care about people. And then again, speak less, and the less you say, the more you mean. You know, I'm not a public speaker, and I'm not a politician, and I choose my words wisely. You know, I don't overcomplicate things and try so hard to win everybody's vote. And then stand on strong moral principles. Don't go out there just trying to win votes. Stand for something. If you do get elected, make sure you vote on the same thing. You got a code you live by. You know, when I vote on the Moses Lake City Council, it's life, liberty, property. If it doesn't benefit somebody in the way that it protects those things, I vote no. Recently in Moses Lake, we did approve Moses Lake citizens to raise chickens on their land. I know it's such a small little thing, but every little battle wins. You know, it's the small things, and we, as libertarians, continue for every little thing that we can in favor of the people. A couple things that when I was running for election that I stood against is the Moses Lake City Council tried to restrict yard sales. Again, a stupid little thing, but how can the government come in and restrict you in what you as you own can sell? They tried to limit you to 2 yard sales a day, to within certain hours, and that you had to get a permit. And with an amazing support, people were against it. And it revitalized me to continue the fight for liberty. And currently, I fight for marijuana rights. I know it's a big topic here in the state of Washington. There is a property owner in Moses Lake that is trying to rent their building out to somebody who would like to start a marijuana business. There's been a couple business owners in the area that have come out and said they would not like it. There is a couple city council members that don't want it. But I encouraged that property owner to continue the fight, to do their research, and to find out what they could on the benefits of marijuana and how it isn't a community destroyer or whatever people may say about it. And soon coming, he is going to come to the council and ask for the buffer reduction from the 1,000-foot radius of a city park to a 100-foot radius. And my argument is, what difference is it to maybe a bar or a strip club? How can we restrict somebody from doing to their, to their own body? It's not any different. People go to the bar all the time, and they don't cause any real commotion in our town anyways. It's a normal issue. People go and drink beer. People drink whiskey, and most of the time they don't cause any problems. So I encourage people within Moses Lake to support that and support business owners and owning a marijuana business if they so choose. And I just ask, what is your code? As a libertarian, what is your code? We stand for liberty. And that may mean the pursuit of life, liberty, and a pursuit of happiness. That you may choose to do whatever you would wish as long as you don't harm somebody else. And that's how I vote within the city council. And I'd like to end with, how did I win? What did the voters want? And that's what I had to do some research on. I grew up in Moses Lake. And Moses Lake was pretty simple. They only needed two issues, and that was social acceptance and social concern. They cared about each other. They were a strong community base. So what I offered as a libertarian was volunteerism. Why don't we point out different charities? Why don't we help each other out? What can we do to help one another? Why do we need government to step in and offer different solutions? Why do we need all these different programs to help each other out? Why can't we help our neighbor? Why can't we go next door and mow each other's lawn? And the other thing that they cared about was business. Moses Lake is a growing population. They're one of the fastest growing cities in Washington. And what most people told me when I was running for city council was, why is the government in the way? Why is there so much red tape? Why are they regulating so much that these different businesses can't come in? And I said, that is exactly the question I intend to ask when I get elected, and to remove some of these different ordinances that involve certain landscaping. That seems to be the big issue in Moses. Like, you have to have so many trees, so much grass, so much area for landscaping to be beautified, to be allowed to own a business in Moses Lake. Some of the questions that are soon to be asked that I currently fight are, you have to have your building painted a certain way. You have to be a certain type of business to be on this street within Moses Lake. Certain things that people like to control. And another thing that I did was go meet people, be friends. Don't argue, because you can't win arguments. If you intend to argue, the only thing you can do is push people away. Again, a man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. It doesn't matter what you do to refute his argument. If you make him angry, he will do everything he can to prove you wrong, even though you may be right, which seems to be the libertarian way. We like to argue. In conclusion, my opinion of libertarians want to win more elections. We want to grow. We want to be a party of significance. We want to fight to be the party of individualism for the people. I encourage you to find common ground, build those bridges, and I continue to repeat myself, and a lot of other speakers that have been here tonight have said, find common ground. Find what they are interested in. Talk to them on things you connect with, things you agree upon, and build on that. We can bring more people in by agreeance. I mean, we agree with, 80% of the people out there. We are socially accepting and fiscally responsible, as the Gary Johnson campaign would say. America needs strong leaders, patriots that set a strong example of what a politician should be. I am a car salesman and a politician, probably the two most hated careers in America. My goal is to change that, to be somebody that can be accepted. I don't want to make enemies. I don't want to be somebody that is hated. And most people that know me after, a couple minutes, I may not get off on the right foot right away, but if you get to know me, most people like me. And that is the common consensus among my friends and coworkers, that I am the friend of everybody. And that's what I encourage you to be. Make friends. Don't fight with people. Find common ground. The bad guy wins when good guys do nothing. And that's a strong statement. Get out there. Run for city council if you may be. It's not as hard as you think. I've never done anything like this before, and I applaud Michael Pickens again for encouraging me all the way to the very end. Every step of the way, he'd call me and just keep me going. Every little hardship, he'd encourage me. Go out there and step out of your comfort zone. Do what's right for the people. Let's bring the battle to them and win some elections.
Yeah.